So we got to go to our worst caller of the week segment, which we worked very hard in putting together. It's the 2 worst callers of the week, and we vote on who is the worst caller of the week. Today's going to be Ed versus Pete. We all vote on this. And Sean McCullum, Jason Stein, myself, JD, we all vote on this. Let's start with Ed. So Ed called into the Vegas Take, and he wanted to talk about Kenosha. You're not going to believe what he said here. Have a listen to this. I think we have Ed on the line. Ed, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ed?
Hey, I'm doing good. I just was thinking about when Brian's talking about okay, let's go back to the kid in Wisconsin. I'm kind of on your side. He probably shouldn't have been there. I'm not going to go anywhere on that case, but I'm asking about the protesters.
Okay.
And how you're saying that most of them are good. If a guy robs a bank,
I didn't say most of them are good. I said most of them are nonviolent.
Okay, that's fine. But if a guy robs a bank and the guy that's out in the getaway car driving, he's just as guilty as the guy riding the bank.
Okay, that is a horrible analogy. If you're somebody, no. Listen to me now.
You listen.
No. You listen. No.
You're saying that they would be accomplices.
No. Okay.
And I think accomplices is a stretch.
Yeah, it is just a little bit of a stretch. So basically, according to this idiot Ed, who was on the line. He believes that if you're at the protest and you're a peaceful protester, if there happen to be people out there that are violent, it's also your fault. And he used the analogy of an accomplice of if you're in a getaway car. One of the dumbest calls I would say we've ever had. That is one of the worst takes I've ever heard. But hey, you know what? I'm not going to try to influence the judges here. It was one of the worst 2 callers we've had all week. We all could agree on that. All right, so let's go to Pete now. Let's go to Pistol Pete, who talked about a Biden commercial. It was completely off topic.
This was odd.
Yeah, this was really weird. All right, have a listen to Pete. 257-5396. Let's go to Pete. Pete is next on the Vegas Take. Pete, what's up?
Hey, Pete.
Yeah, Brian, about Biden. Listen, if you look at his most recent commercial lately, look in the background. It shows a gurney getting loaded into the back of an ambulance. There's a senior citizen, silver-haired senior guy on the gurney, and he looks just like Biden, and they're wheeling him into the back of the ambulance.
Okay,
you might find that kind of entertaining.
No, I find that disturbing, actually.
You said it's Biden's ad or Trump's ad?
This is in the background when you're looking at the
okay.
When you're looking at the TV commercial for Biden.
Right.
In the background, look carefully at the ambulance and the guy
you know what, Pete,
being loaded into the back
I think
of the
I did
ambulance.
hear about that, and I think a lot of the QAnon followers think it actually is Joe Biden. They think Joe Biden is dead, and Scott Baio was playing Joe Biden. I appreciate the phone call. By the way, for the record, the last strip club I went to, I saw a woman on stage look just like Pete's wife, by the way. I just wanted to mention that as well. All right, also a terrible phone call. Boy, this is going to be, guys, I don't want to influence. This is going to be really tough. These are 2 atrocious phone calls. I'm glad I'm judging last. We usually go to JD first to set the tone. All right, JD, give me your vote. Who do you think's the worst here?
Oh, Pete by far.
Why?
Yeah, Pete by far.
Why?
Because I don't think that there was an ad of Joe Biden being loaded into a gurney.
Probably not.
Where Joe Biden was in front. I mean, that would be.
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know that?
Well, I'll use that circular logic, I guess. I'll be Jim Marchant for a second. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but no, I don't think that's even.
Jim Marchant, how did he get in this conversation?
Jim Marchant, when we had him on the show, he kept saying over and over, "Well,
I wasn't there."
That doesn't mean that it didn't happen. How do you know it didn't happen? You know, that was his response to everything. That was his answer.
We'd love to have Jim Marchant back in the studio.
I totally agree with that. But no, yeah, I think that is one of the worst calls I've heard in a long time. Actually.
It was very bad.
Yeah,
I don't want to influence the other judges, but it was very bad. I can't disagree with that. All right, let's go to Jason Stein, who is our producer. Stein, this is a tough one, man. All right, give me your vote.
It really is. It would seem obvious.
It's really not, though.
But I'm starting to rethink my kind of criteria because it's worst call of the week. Like, I find the thing about Biden being loaded up on a gurney to be like a really good call because it's so entertaining.
That's true.
Right? Where the person who said it might be a fool,
logic.
But the call was good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm really torn on this one.
So you think our audience appreciates it? I actually agree with you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's funny.
You can't change your vote.
No, but I'm also adding to my criteria moving forward.
But, you know,
give me the answer.
The spirit of worst call of the week is the person who called up with the most outrageous claim or whatever. So
yes.
I guess by that rationale, I'll have to go also with Pete because he was so off his rocker.
All right, fair enough. So Pete is up 2-0. Now we go to Sean McCullum, our associate producer here, who does a very good job in that little glass room that he is in. Not going to get any of the smells from the studio, or you're not going to get coronavirus from us because you're in the other room. All right, Sean, give me your vote here, my man. Where are you going with?
I have a feeling one of these days Wayne's going to make that list, but I think I'm going with Pete as well. And it was funny because I was thinking about this at our post-production meeting yesterday at Bambino's. Pete was just so far off topic, and I don't even know where. I'm going to make it short and sweet.
Sean, thank you for being. By the way, Sean, thank you for being a part of our production meetings.
I really
at
enjoyed
Bambino's.
that. And we took a good picture.
My pleasure. Great pizza too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is really good pizza over there. We have, and don't forget to get the TVT special. That's very important.
Just ask your server for the TVT special.
That's right. They'll know exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
the spot.
Yes. All right. So now it's my turn, right? It's my turn. All right. Well, I got to go
Wait,
against.
did he say
Yeah. So we know Pete's going to win, but I have to vote just for the sake of argument here. I'm going to go against the grain here. The reason why I'm going to go with Ed, because in Pete's call, he was being. Listen to my logic here, guys. Pete was being kind of disrespectful towards Joe Biden. One person. Ed is disrespecting millions of people across the country, okay? There are millions of people across the country that are peaceful protesters. He's basically calling millions of people accomplices because they're protesting and because there's a small minority of people that are violent or committing riots.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mr. McCloskey. That's kind of like saying that Trump caravan represents all you Trump supporters. All you Trump supporters, are abiding by, violence. It just makes absolutely no sense. So I'm going to give Ed the vote. Trust me, it was a hard vote. Pete's call was pretty bad. I guess if there is a commercial out there, folks, and you see somebody in a gurney that looks like Joe Biden, please email our producer. It's producer@thevegastake.com. We'll be happy to take a look at it, and maybe Pete will be justified. And if he is justified, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to have to retract our votes. We'll have to apologize to Pete. If there's an advertisement out there and somebody who looks like Joe Biden is in a gurney walking into an ambulance, make no mistake about it. I don't think that's the case, but if it is the case, we will give our apologies to Pete. Make no mistake about it. There's going to be no apology to Ed.
He's saying that Joe Biden is dead and he was being put into an ambulance.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
And so the Biden campaign thought it would be a good idea to showcase that in a Biden ad.
Because they want to lose.
It doesn't make much sense.
Come on, man.
They're sabotaging their own campaign and their own event.
Doesn't make much sense.
Hey, by the way, a little bit of news, just really fast. The owner of the Atlantic donated $500,000 to the Biden campaign in the second quarter, and John Bolton was asked by the New York Times today.
We gotta go, man.
About it, and he said that he was there and he did not hear Trump say any of those things.
Okay, for the record, that has absolutely nothing to do with the person who actually wrote the article. I don't want to get into another debate, but just because the owner does something, just like the owner of Sheldon Adelson, just because Adelson does something that might be crazy doesn't mean every writer in the RJ is crazy.